Morning, Paul.
Good morning, mate.
How you doing? First day at the world number one. How you feeling?
Yeah, it's a pretty surreal feeling. Yesterday was a big, quite nervous for me. And this morning sort of woke up very happy, quite a lot more relaxed. But yeah, just a lot of energy coming around. I'm trying to stay focused for my match later. Obviously, it's a tricky one. I want to enjoy the moment and soak it all up. But I've got to keep my head in the tournament. So I'm trying to enjoy it, but trying to stay focused at the same time. But yeah, mate, I can't even put into words how I'm feeling today.
And this morning, I imagine you've probably tried to relax as much as possible. Has there been any room for any kind of celebrations at all? Have you had lots of messages? What's the morning been like?
Yeah, I've had a ton of messages. I'm obviously speaking to my family and everyone that's really close to my team. We're enjoying it, but when I reply to all the messages after the tournament, like I said, I'm trying to keep my head in the game, but enjoy at the same time. So yeah, I've spoken to my family, my coaches, my girlfriend, everyone who's close to me and the team, and after the tournament we'll really get stuck into celebrating.
Yeah, and obviously you're the first non-Egyptian world number one for quite some time, since Greg Gorte in 2017. How significant is that for you, of someone that has come from a country like New Zealand, who obviously have had champions in the past that have been in the top rankings, but you're the first world number one for the men? Yeah,
I mean, it's a big achievement. There's been a lot of Egyptian dominance over the last decade, and credit to them for the country and producing so many champions. And it was a task for any of us players outside Egypt to really try and compete with them and lift our game to be at the same level as them. So yeah, something I'm very proud of. Obviously, Gaultier was one of my role models coming through the rankings. He was someone I trained with a lot, and to be the first world number one after him is quite special to me as well. He sent me a really nice message this morning saying well done, but the job's not done this week and I have to stay focused on my tournament. So yeah, he's been very supportive of me, and someone that I admire a lot and appreciate the support from.
And you obviously mentioned a lot about your game this evening. You've got the Tarek moment, and it was your first game as world number one. Are you expecting a different type of intensity from players that are coming up against you in those top five now? Is that something you're consciously thinking about, or are you trying to keep things business as usual?
To be honest, I think it's more my mindset. Obviously they're going to be chasing me, and it's a different dynamic for myself, and I think it's all about me, how I deal with that situation. And I've never been in this situation before. It's very new to me, so it's going to be quite a challenge for myself, and I'm just taking it as a personal challenge, and not trying to focus on them too much. It's all about me and how I improve and stay ahead of them. So yeah, it's a challenge that I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, to me, it's all about myself and how I deal with it.
One of the things that one of my colleagues mentioned to me earlier today was about your stint as world number 59 in the Australian Open a little while back in 2015.
Okay.
That he believes was one of your kind of first stepping stones into the top echelons of the tour, and getting yourself into the World Series element. What does it feel like now, looking back at moments like that, beating a player like Campilli in the final of that tournament?
Yeah, it's really cool, man, to look back on the journey. Is obviously that was quite important. Stepping stone, it gave me a lot of confidence to compete with those guys. Obviously, I spent a lot of time training with Campilli, and he was quite a guy that helped me out first when I went to Europe. But yeah, those matches are really cool to look back on. They're really important parts of my career, and it's funny looking back on those small matches that were very important, and it's really cool memories to have. My coach was there, we celebrated hard, I had a lot of family there, so it was a real cool moment in my career that I hold quite close to my heart. Did those big victories at the time, were super special moments.
What will you be focusing on in the next few months, I suppose, to, as you say, when you're focusing on yourself, to try and elevate yourself further at that number one spot?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very lucky with my coach. He's got an extremely good squash brain, and he's very analytical. So, he will be sort of identifying areas that I can still improve on, and also just adding to what my strengths are. What's worked well the last 12 months especially. We'll keep improving those, make them even better. But we're constantly looking for areas where I can improve, and you have to do that if I want to stay there. So, like you said, I'm going to be chased now, so I have to sort of identify areas where I can improve, and I can't sort of rest on my laurels now. But we're very happy with me on my game bed at the moment, and we put a lot of work into it. So it's also about just still identifying those areas that are working really well and making them better, and not trying to change absolutely everything. Obviously, technically we're very happy now, so it's all small changes, but yeah, we're constantly looking to improve and try and see how we can stay at the top.
Obviously, of course, today you've mentioned about lots of different messages from different people this morning. In terms of the New Zealand greats in Ross Norman, Susan Devoy, and Stu Devonport, have you had any specific messages from them so far?
Yeah, to be honest, Susan and Stu have been, and Ross, I've had lots to do with Susan and Stu, and they've been massive supporters, not just today, but over my whole career. They give me plenty of advice, and it's been amazing, to be honest, to see those two greats that I look up to really having a lot to do with me and being super supportive of my career. So I've spoke to them both, but they've been fantastic since I was further down the rankings. They'll really give me some good advice and helping me get to where I am today. So and it means a lot to me, because I obviously grew up idolizing those, and I couldn't believe that they were number one and number two. So yeah, having those three, Ross, Stu, and Susan supporting me, it really means a lot to me, and I appreciate their support as people I looked up to my whole career, basically.
What is the plan this morning in terms of training? Is it just a light hit for you?
Yeah, going to jump on the glass, going to try and keep it as normal as possible in terms of leading up to my match. Obviously, I'm trying to focus on that today and tomorrow if I get through today. So yeah, just keep it normal. I stretch out this morning. I'll do a solo on court for 30 minutes and just prepare like it's a normal day for me, even though it's not.
In terms of the challenge ahead, I suppose, what are you most looking forward to about being hunted as the world number one now?
Yeah, it's obviously a different sort of pressure, but it's also quite exciting. I'm going to have to sort of evaluate my own game and take it as a personal challenge to keep improving. So yeah, it's quite exciting for me, to be honest. I love a challenge, and I'm just going to look at areas where I can improve myself and try and focus on myself as much as possible and not get too caught up in everyone behind me, and just sort of analyse my own game and find areas that I can improve and work on that, rather than get too caught up in everyone else. It's a personal challenge for me, and something that I'm really looking forward to.